Since nobody looks at the fucking Google Slides, they just watch the videos, I decided that I have placed zero information, so I'm just gonna elaborate on it. So you don't get to read ahead. And yeah, I'm a terrible teacher. Anyway, this is the two cost ranking video. We are going to be ranking every two cost phobia in the game. Also, the pack attack phobies, which are the jackalopes, those all have the same stats. Flopsy, Mopsy, and Cottontail, they all have the same stats. So I'm just gonna put them into one. The worst two cost phobia, is Rusty. The main reason. Oh, also the descriptions are all fucked up for the rules. Um, I don't. I was too lazy to put something actually good since all of these have like, they're basically just me rushing everything, despite the fact that this actually took longer than my one cost video because I was procrastinating super hard. Um, but yeah, Rusty's really bad mainly just because it doesn't do anything. It doesn't attack. It has barely any HP, and it it all it does is remove the ability to move. That fucking sucks. If you haven't been able to tell, first off, um, to disable someone's movement, you have to be 3 tiles away from them when your turn starts. Because otherwise, you can't walk 2 tiles up to them and use your ability 1 tile away from them and stop their movement. Which means chances are they're probably not too deep into enemy territory. So you're not stuck. They're already developed, so they're probably just chilling there. So what's the point of disabling their movement? You get nothing from that. You got nothing. Like you got nothing. You got nothing. You can see it coming and you can do something about it. It's really easy. Um oh, also I've added suggestions at the bottom just so that you know what I want. Um increase the HP, give him an actual attack, and also increase the ability range to 2 tiles. He doesn't have to do damage, um, but it's a nice add-on. Also, removing mobility shouldn't be its entire gimmick, because that's not a good gimmick. Removing mobility is not a good gimmick. It ha it it has to be an add-on. It has to be a perk. For example, Dozer. I don't really know how good they are, but their ability to remove movement is an add-on because it also has a shit ton of HP and it also has a ranged attack, I think, which is pretty nuts. So it's like basically like a ranged juggernaut, which I think is pretty cool. Rusty doesn't have that. This is all that it does. Finnigan, it's not that good. It has the same stats as Tickles, which is a 1 cost, but it has 200 more base HP. Um, the push ability is really bad. Pushing isn't really that useful, especially since a lot of these phobies have an issue where you have to be kind of close to them to activate their ability. Um, there isn't really a situation in which a Finnigan will be 3 tiles away from an enemy phobia and be able to do anything significant with their push. Just not really. I think the best way to go about this is to just give them something unique, right? Something like fetch. Fetch is something unique. Um, I don't think there's a 3 cost push unit, but there's also Slammer Head, which is not unique whatsoever. They're just not fun. I don't know why you would do that. But at the very least, increase their stats. If you want to go a bit further, give them a nice gimmick like Burrow or Dimensional, and make the portal push instead of pull on death. That'd be kind of interesting. The reason I prefer that over pushing on your own turn is when you push on the enemy's turn, you disrupt their tempo. Because now when you're attacking them, you push them away, and that stops them from being able to fully develop until the next turn if they were to attack you twice. Um, Squiggles is the newest 2 cost, right? Yeah, the newest 2 cost Phobie. And I have to say, it's not very good. It's really bad, honestly. It does a decent amount of damage against the heart. It's like 783, but it has no survivability. It has terrible base stats by itself. It's super niche. And also I think I'm okay with that. The main reason is because I don't think you should buff it. I think if you buffed it to be a good generalist, then I think that would kind of ruin the point of Squiggles. So I'm okay with it being absolute dog shit because it'll be good on like one map. I guess. Right now I'm thinking Xylo, but probably not. But it's good in those niche situations in which you need to rush the heart. I didn't really know what to put for the pack attacks. I would say all-rounder, maybe. But it's really hard to define their role. They kind of just, they're bait, right? They're bait. You capture a panic point, and you have to put something to walk on it in order to kill it. But anything that walks on there is gonna die because you have a Bowmingles, a Stairmaster, and a fucking Cyclops watching them all at the same time. I have no idea how to buff these. Oh shit, I forgot that I put this down. I mean, I guess you could buff them by giving them like I mean, giving them extra HP is like a baseline, but also it'd be interesting to see if the 2 cost pack jackalopes gave each other attack buffs. That would be interesting to see. I think that's a decent idea. Don't listen to Presentation Toast. I think that's a decent idea. Um, Unlike Boom, KERBLOOM doesn't really do much. I just don't think it's worth 2 keys. Like I said before, if you're 3 tiles away from a guy, chances are the push isn't going to do anything significant. I don't know why you would give it push, because Kaboom doesn't have push. So what's the deal? Well, why give KERBLOOM push? There was nothing to get from that. It'd be interesting if it attacked from a wider range. So maybe if it hit Phobie's 2 tiles away from it as well, maybe like a 50% damage fall off or something. That would be interesting. Um, but yeah, I don't know why they give it push. Kaboom doesn't have push. Boom doesn't have push. Why give KERBLOOM push? Um, Maggie is basically a flying AWOL, and it does give him. Maggie just sounds like a her, but whatever. Maggie's main issue is that there's not much going for him. And while it gives him a few more routes to attack, I don't think it's really that important. And also, it kind of gets outclassed by other assassins in this cost range, like Cassowary. Um, I'd say either increase the HP or the attack. And the main issue with Maggie isn't that there's some like underlying gimmick, because it has no gimmick. It's just stats. So it has bad stats. Um, it's not really like Ted and Jill, where their role isn't the inherent issue. It's more so it's a good role. We don't really have anything like that in the lower costs. We have like Droney, right? Did I put Droney in my list? I don't think I did. Shit. I didn't put Droney in my list. We're gonna make a list together, guys. We're gonna make a list together. And where do we put Droney? We didn't put Droney anywhere. Wait, Droney's did they not put Droney in the 2 costs? Oh god, this is going off the. No, I'm just stupid. There's 16 items here. There should be 14. There's 13. Oh shit, this video is going off the rails. Where do we put Droney? I put Droney above Sucky, maybe above Eternal Night. Well, we'll say Droney is over here, right? We'll put him over there. Ignore that for now. We'll go over it later. Oh, that's hilarious. Okay. Next we have Creep. I think Creep is a decent Cassowary Murderman counter. Some people said that it's a good Gravedigger counter. I don't really see that, right? Because Gravedigger's not going to die from poison. And maybe if they push the Creep, get that lifesteal, maybe they'll end up taking enough damage to die by like supporting units. But honestly, I don't think it needs many changes. It's pretty balanced right now. I think it's nice. Also, the ability, having a 2 range ability with 2 range movement is pretty nice, even though it's only like 285 damage. I think that's something that's notable. Eternal Knight, it has pretty bad stats. It's not really mediocre, but because it's dimensional, that means that its portal is pretty fucking dangerous. I say this is where the power spike tends to go up. This is where we kind of go towards pretty strong territory, but I don't think it should be changed. Um, yeah, Drone. Drone is really good just because it's able to capture panic points. That's basically its only trait. You're not really able to hit any units with it because with 2 tiles, you can just get like a creep out and it does more damage. But sometimes you just need that extra push. You need to get that extra panic point, and sometimes it's nice. You can also use it on starting turns, but it might be better to use it with Snowball. Sometimes you want to use Snowball with the one cost. I mean, Snowball. Sometimes you want to use Droning with the one cost. There's 2 scenarios for that. But overall, I'd say it's used for panic points mainly, which is why it's so powerful, just because it's kind of in a different league. So yeah, that's why you could argue that it's like between Maggie and Creep, but that's where I'm putting it. Suki. Suki's a tank. It has huge amounts of survivability. It's kind of insane. Um, and I think it's just something you can put down when you, I don't know, it's just a thing you can put down when you have keys and you don't know what to spend them on. And it only does like 600 damage from 2 tiles away, which isn't very good. Let's just say that. It's not very good. But I think it's decent. I think it could be good. I recently got it from a pack opening, and maybe it's not as good as I thought. But for now, I'm going to put it at number 5. Also, technically, this would be number 4. Wait, no. This would be number 7, and this would be number 6, so this is still number 5. I'm smart. um, Also, yeah, doesn't really need any changes. I think it's fine the way it is. K9000, it's very similar to Sucky in terms of base stats, but it has a lot more attack, and it has a bit less HP. I think it does a lot of consistent damage. The fact that it isn't affected by poison is really nice because that means it's not really affected by like creep and Sokkasen. It's a really good counter for Cassowary as well because it usually doesn't get. I don't think it ever gets one shot by Cassowary, reasonably so. Obviously it does die to Cassowary Jar Cannon, but other than that, we're fine. Gesundheit. Gesundheit. I think that's how you say it. I had to search it up. I think it's Gesundheit. But it trades mobility and survivability for strength. It does way too much damage. It also does really well when there's like a bit of cover in front of it, like I was about to say murder ring, but no. Razor Mouth, Cowbell, any one cost really that has a decent amount of HP is going to work really well there. I think it needs a damage nerf. Um, Obviously these next few phobies are only good because they deal a lot of damage. So it's kind of necessary that we just nerf them. I'd say I think it has like 500 base right now or something. So if it's like 500 base, then I'd say we change it to like what? 480, 490 possibly, because right now it does more than bone mangles at base, and that's really fucking weird. Unicorn's really nice. I had to make a new role. I didn't really consider Marksman to be a valid role until now because I realized that it's not an assassin, it's not an all-rounder because it's slow as hell, and it's definitely not a juggernaut. You could say it's a ranged juggernaut, but I just don't really think that's the right term for it. Also, its trap isn't very good. I don't know why people are saying that's the main point of using Unicorn. Unicorn is just really good because it's a Bone Mangles and Stabby alternative at 2 keys, and it's nuts. It does close to the same amount of damage as Stabby too, and it has a lot of survivability. It's really good stats for a 2 cost. Um, just make the base damage lower, right? That's what it's going to be for all of these. Also, don't remove the trap because it's just not worth your time. I think having a 2-cost trap is kind of interesting, even though you kind of have to sacrifice yourself, or like be able to stall for a few turns without having any 2 costs just kind of close in on the unicorn and kill it because the trap is only 1 ability range. But yeah, lastly we got Cassowary. It does a lot of damage. I think it's like 485 base, which is pretty nuts. It can move 2 tiles every turn. Um, I'm also noticing just now that creep isn't the only one with 2 tiles, 2 ability range. I probably should have specified. I'm not talking about the ones where you can move and attack at the same time. That's not, yeah. It's also really important for early game. I use it for early game. Some people use Unicorn, but I think it's pretty obvious that Unicorn and Cassowary are the kings right now because you're using them in almost every single turn for small maps. Yeah, nerf the damage. We're gonna say that for all 3 of these. It's just how it works. It's just how it works. There's nothing else going for these guys other than their damage and maybe their survivability. And yeah, that's basically about it. Sorry, I forgot about Drone. I just forgot about Drone, so we're gonna put that in the video though, because that's fucking hilarious. Um, also, I'm just gonna point this out. My next video, my next ranking video at the very least, is going to be on the new phobies that I got. Like I said before, I don't think it's fair to rank phobies from other costs, but we're going to rank them based on the design. I made that on the spot because I just realized that I contradicted myself from another video. So I'm gonna rank them based on the design, and I don't know. I'm kind of bad at game design, and I'm even worse at art design. So everyone's gonna disagree with me, and I'm gonna hate myself because I mean I don't really know what the fuck I'm talking about. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Um, be sure to watch another video after this. Um, YouTube recommended this to you to keep you in the algorithm for as long as possible. Unless you clicked on this from Discord or clicked on this from notifications, in which case that joke doesn't make sense anymore. Man, that's crazy. Goodbye.